Chairperson of Anti-Corruption Commission, the acting chairperson of Anti-Corruption Commission, who is also the commissioner, one of the commissioners, the Speaker of the State Assembly, Central Equatorial State, the Deputy Special Representative of the Secretary General. I may not complete all the protocols, but I would like to recognize all of you who are here, the faith-based group, the civil society, and the members of the commission. Good afternoon. It's an honor and a privilege to join you today in this very important global day, the commemoration of the World Anti-Corruption Day. The World Anti-Corruption Day is a very significant day not only for the world, but also for the Republic of South Sudan. South Sudan is not an island. We are a member of the Council of Nations, member of the UN, member of African Union, member of many global institutions. And therefore, what we do in the Republic of South Sudan to conform with the norms and the conventions that the world and indeed countries that came before us have been observing. And one of such is the Anti-Corruption Convention and the fight against corruption. Dear ladies and gentlemen, while underscoring the importance of this day, I would like equally to take on a very serious note our attendance. Our attendance for this global day is actually below expectation. And this one is a very sad note. Here might be half of the forum could be members of the commission and their staff. And then we have invited members of international agencies and diplomatic corps, who apparently also most of them have left. And obviously, and glaringly, we miss the representation of the executive of the Article. It is only the commission that is here. Though they were invited, and one of the vice presidents was to be the guest of honor, unfortunately could not turn up. Neither anybody delegated. And in this format, in this manner, how will we succeed in the battle? This is my question to all of us. Where do we fight the battle against corruption? And who are the frontline agencies? The battle against corruption must be fought at the highest level of our society. If we are to succeed, if Anti-Corruption Commission is to succeed, the battle against corruption, the war on corruption must be fought at the highest level of government. And especially the executive branch. The executive branch, why do I say so? It's because they handle the public funds. We in the legislature oversee how they manage these funds. The presidency, the relevant ministries, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of National Security, the Ministry of Finance, the National Audit Chamber, unfortunately, all these agencies, I'm mentioning them, they are not here to commemorate this day. And therefore, for this commemoration to be successful, we will only now rely on the media, who are probably broadcasting this event, so that it is not only a gathering of like minds, or a gathering for tea and lunch, but a gathering to send messages, to enlighten our society. As we strive to reform our country, as we strive to deliver the much needed services to the people of South Sudan. The fight against corruption is at the center of good governance. You can never talk about good governance without talking about corruption, without saying something about transparency, about rule of law, about democracy. And when I say about democracy, is the social contract. We are in government, we are in offices, we are in power on behalf of the people. South Sudan. They allowed us to handle their resources. They trusted us with their future. They trusted us with service delivery, with development, with all they have. All the resources, the oil and non-oil resources, the human resources, the non-human resources. They said you can collect taxes on our behalf. You can sell our oil on our behalf. You can build schools on our behalf. Construct roads on our behalf. Provide security, law, and order on our behalf. But one challenge, one setback that will not make us attain this mandate is if there are individuals or groups that are taking from these resources for themselves, such that we cannot build the schools, we cannot build the roads, we cannot build the hospitals, we cannot pay salaries for those who should keep the law and order, for those who should defend the country. If there are such individuals or groups, is what we are commemorating today. We have come to reflect on, as a government, what are we doing to fight this vice. And by the way, corruption is not only special to South Sudan. It is part of human nature. That human may be selfish, may like him or herself, may want to benefit, may want to enjoy at the expense of others. That is why the process of corruption today has produced two societies that are living side by side. A very rich group living side by a very poor group. Income inequality. We are here to reflect on this. How, as government, do we mitigate, do we prevent individuals or groups taking advantage of institutions, weak institutions, weak laws, to enrich themselves and leave others very poor? This is the reason why we are here. That's why I take on a serious note that occasion like this actually does not even deserve to be in an enclosed place like this. It should be under tents, outside, or in the sun, in one of these fields. And invite everybody. I'm sure South Sudanese will be more than happy to come and listen to their leaders, to listen to all the wonderful speeches that were spoken here about how and what we are doing as their leaders to ensure that we can do better, to deliver services, provide development, construct more roads and bridges. And this is a lesson to be learned for the Commission and all the organizers who in one way or the other made this occasion possible. Now let us prepare for next year. A grand commemoration bringing all arms of government, civil society, religious leaders, and our citizens in an open ground, preferably Freedom Square, so that we can talk about governance issues of our country. Having said this, allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to hail the Commission for being steadfast, for adhering to their mandate with a lot of difficulties. Lack of funds, lack of political will, even their premises, their office, headquarters, the landlord closed it because they are failed to raise the rent. Lack of salaries, or very low salary. They still continued. We had a workshop as leadership of Parliament. We had a workshop with the Commission to appraise the challenges that they face. And indeed, in this workshop, all the leadership of the Parliament came and invited other stakeholders to exchange views. And this is where we discovered a lot of challenges. Among them I've already highlighted. But even the little gain that they have scored to document and report cases of corruption in which over 413 files were created and over 114 files reported to the Ministry of Justice. Up to date, these files are lying there. They have not made their ways to the judiciary. The Ministry of Justice is responsible for the prosecution because the DPP sits there. But they have decided to keep the files. I hope the files will not get lost. I would like to reiterate our support as Parliament to the Commission. We have reviewed your budget and we have made a small increment. We have also asked the Ministry of Finance to disburse these funds to the Commission as soon as possible to allow the Commission to proceed with its work. We know the Commission alone cannot do anything, as the war against corruption is a holistic warfare. The battle cannot be won in the Commission. The battle can only be won together with other agencies of government. You will need the support which you already have of the legislature and the judiciary. And within the executive, you will need the support of the presidency so that you get the political will. You will need the support of the Minister of Justice. The support of the civil society organizations. You will need the citizens to support you. As highlighted by the Deputy Chief Justice, that for you to fight corruption effectively, somebody must complain. I would like also to add that the first complainant must be the Commission. The Commission must be the first complainant because you are mandated to fight corruption. Don't wait for complaints. It is the judiciary who must have the accused and the accuser. But for you, who is endowed with this mandate, you must be the first to complain because of your mandate. The legal framework, the Anti-Corruption Act, is under review. We understood the complication between the Act and the Constitution. That is why the prosecution powers lies with the Minister of Justice, who decided to file the cases. The Act gives you the powers, but it's not in the Constitution. You see? So it is difficult for you to proceed with the prosecution without being sanctioned by the Constitution. That is why the Minister of Justice retained his powers to prosecute. Ever since the establishment of the Commission, as a result of our constitutional requirements, the government of South Sudan has been putting little or no fight against corruption. Who is serving sentence? I'm only hearing today that 8 million was recovered. I would like to thank the former chairman of anti-corruption for that. You can imagine 8 million. That was only going to the pocket of an individual, of one person. How many schools, blocks, this money built? It was meant to only benefit one person. And moreover, you had 75 names. Should we say on average, let us multiply 8 million times 75 to get how much we have lost only on corruption? And how many kilometers of roads, asphalt roads, would we have by now? How many schools and universities would we have by now? Somebody talk about low salaries. It's true that if we don't improve the salaries of public servants in this country, we will not succeed to fight corruption. The other day I was in the Governors Forum. I was raising this issue. Some people thought I was a stranger. This is a fact that the salaries of civil servants and organized forces, military, must be reviewed. They should get meaningful salaries, that they will be contented with it, that they can be able to budget for their subsistence for at least 30 days before they get the next salary. They can save for the school fees of their kids. They can buy clothes. They can treat themselves and still remain with savings in the bank. This is meaningful salary. Somebody who is a sadist will ask, where will you get the money from? The money is in corruption that we want to fight. The money, will get it from corruption. If we manage to fight like the 8 million, can that one not pay salaries? Transparency. Can it not recover losses because of opaqueness in some sectors, including the oil sector, the revenue collection sector? Will get this money and be able to meet the needs of salaries, meet the needs of development and service delivery. So the fight against corruption is in the best interest of all of us, including the common men and women, so that we can at least uplift this country and take it to the next level. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not say much. I would like only to thank all of you for turning up for this very important occasion. I know the organization could have faced some challenges with this attendance, but we in the Parliament, we are serious about this matter because we are working towards reform and ending the transitional period. And we want to go for a democratic, a multi-party democracy in this country. With all this, I would like to wish you all the best as we go back home and as we also work together to fight corruption, to mitigate corruption, to prevent corruption in the Republic of South Sudan for the betterment of the people of South Sudan and our country. And up to this far, let me take this opportunity to also close the gathering. Thank you so much.